is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now.
Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it.
Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now.
Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we have an episode of 90s Auctions Live. It is May the 31st, 2024. My name is Jeremy Lee, and I am excited to bring on co-founder of 90s Auctions. You ready to come out? Are you ready to come out? Give me the nod. He's ready. Let's bring him out. Joshua Adams. Welcome back to the show. This is the third or fourth time that we've done a showcase of the 90s auction, and I'm happy to have you. But how are you doing right now, Josh? How are you doing right now?
Excellent. Lighting situation somewhat fixed. We're all good. So
okay. How's the coffee?
Coffee situation is fine. I'm okay. So
okay. Okay. We started the show about 90 seconds late tonight, everybody. I don't know if Josh knocked over his coffee or what he did, but we are good. We're good to go. There are 86 lots in the June 90s auction. June 90s auction.
Thank you. It's a mouthful, but yes. So.
It's a bit of a mouthful, but listen, I am I'm a fan of what you're doing here, Josh. Obviously, I'm happy to be doing these shows with you about, let's say, 4 times a year for each auction. You guys are doing quarterly auctions, yourself and John over at 90s Auctions. And I like that it's an amount of lots that it's easy to bite off and chew on. You can really go through it. You're not going to be overwhelmed, at least not yet. I guess in the future, we hope that it's more overwhelming and you have more and more lots. But, I want to ask you this just right out of the gate here. 86 seems like a good number to me. Do you guys have a goal for how many lots you would like to be offering? Is it different than what we're seeing?
Yeah, we're trying to, we're growing it. So each one we have a little more from the past. So we're looking ideally between 100 and 250 lots per auction would be the ultimate goal, and not just not filler, but, good, a good exemplar of cards from all across 4 sports from the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah. And you guys have been doing a great job of that. And I'm sort of excited this month. I think this is the first time I've actually submitted cards to the auction to be part. So what do I have? 5 or 6 cards, 3, 4, 5. I think I have 5 cards in this auction tonight. So I'll point those out to everybody for fun and see if anyone's interested in any of the ones that I consigned over to you guys. But yeah, let's also get into this quick topic here, if we may. So you guys are doing 4 a year. Your next auction is going to be in August, I believe, after the National. So tell us your guys' plans for the National and any other developments you have going on at 90s Auctions.
Sure. So John and I will set up at the National. We've got a booth. We're taking consignments, showcasing what's going to be in the next auction and meeting customers, meeting people. And then for the first time, starting in our August auction, we're going to have the option that you can pay for your winnings with consignments for future auctions. So if you have cards you want to consign and you want to, not put out the cash, but put out cards, that's something that we can do starting in August. John is our consignment director. So John handles all that. You can email him at the Instagram or at the website, and we could set valuation and have that all ironed out before the auction ends. So everyone knows what expectations are. And then there's, a few more details, but, John can answer all those.
I have a question. Is that it's something that I see auction houses offering? I'm glad to hear that you guys are keeping up and doing that too. I've never had that desire personally. Is this something that you're offering because you've had customers or clients request it, or what's the demand like in the auction landscape for that service?
So we've had a few people ask us for this auction if they could pay for a future consignment, and given the window of when it closes, I thought we should wait until the next one just so we have all the terms ironed out. Everyone knows what everyone's expectations are. But yeah, and I think it's also flexible. People don't have cash and they have money tied up in cards. It's a good way to maybe clean out your cards and get something else you want. Everyone loves to consolidate now. That's the big word. So if you want to get rid of some stuff that maybe don't want anymore, and there's a card you see at the auction doesn't pop up that often, that's something we can do.
Nice. Okay, good stuff. Let's say hello to Jacob Dahl, the professor. The professor says, does Josh let us view previous auctions and their sales like PWCC does. I think what he's
Yes.
asking here is, do you have a previous auction history on your website?
Yes, it's all there.
It's all there. There you go, Professor. It's all there on their website. Just go to the, I actually, let's just take a quick look here. I believe it would probably be in the auctions tab at the top. So here's the auction. If you go to auction, about maybe we're in the auction right now. So I guess oh, here you go. You can go to the drop down here and you can pick any of their past auctions. Here they all are, and search that way. Is that the way you would do it, Josh?
Yes. Yeah, that's the way you do it.
There you go, Professor. Just get into the auction itself versus the website, which you get to the auction through the website, and then you can get in and see all of the items there. So, okay, that's great. I just want to have a quick check on Instagram. Oh, we've already had about 20, 30 people jump through IG. So welcome people watching on Instagram, Twitter, or X, of course, and YouTube. Thanks, everybody, for joining. What we're going to do here is we're going to run through, we're not going to go through all 86 items. We're going to try and go for about an hour here, and we're going to look at many of the items. I certainly want to look at the ones that I've consigned because I'm curious to see how they're doing and to share them with everybody. And I'll even discuss sort of why I bought them in the first place and why I decided to dispose of them. But what do you think, Josh? You ready to take a look at some of these, starting with these the couple Frank Thomas cards in the top row here?
Oh, absolutely. Let's get start to it.
All right. So this is a cool top row here because we've got a PMG championship from hockey, from baseball, the Frank Thomas checklist. We've got the football Marshall Falk, and then we got the Frank Thomas StarQuest Gold and a Derek Jeter Ruby. So we got Rubies, PMG champs, and StarQuest Golds across the top. I mean, listen, I know a bit about these 90s cards, and I know that these are three of the, I mean, for me at least, I love all three of these insert types. StarQuest Gold, PMG Champ, and this one right here is probably my favorite insert of the 90s. I don't have the Jeter. I have the Griffey personally, Josh, but I love it. So let's talk about this 1999 Skybox Premium Star Rubies Derek Jeter. It's a BGS 8.5. You had the opening bid at 1,000. It's already bid up to 2,100. Josh, tell us a little bit about these premium Star Rubies from 99 and maybe, your expectations for this card.
So I think like Rubies, especially 99, they receive a big bump, I think, because of the basketball popularity, and that trickles down to baseball. I think you find that in StarQuest and also for Rubies, numbered out of 50, one of his most popular inserts. And I expect it to go for around 10,000, 10 to 12, I think is a realistic estimate for that card.
It's absolutely beautiful. If you hold this card in hand, these little like sections of this background stock, they glisten under the light. As I mentioned, I own the Ken Griffey. I will often just take it off my shelf and put it in my hand and roll it around in the light. And it's just they've never been replicated in my mind. One of my favorites. This is the Jeter, probably, in my opinion, the second best card in the set behind only Ken Griffey Jr. So I'm curious to see what this one ends at. The auction, everybody, does end this Sunday. This Sunday, June the 2nd, is the end of the auction. Not tonight. This is not an extended bidding watch party. This is just a showcase leading up to the auction that ends 2 days from now to give you guys time to decide if and what you'd like to bid on and just to get into the cards. Now, Josh, next up, two PMG champs, the Frank Thomas checklist and the Marshall Falk. Tell us a bit about, is the Frank Thomas checklist as desirable as, say, the regular Frank Thomas from the set? And I kind of know it isn't, but I want to hear your thoughts.
I mean, it's not, but this one doesn't come up that much. The regular Frank is the horizontal card, which full swing, which is a great looking card. It's probably the best card in the set. And then you've got the checklist, which is pretty cool. It's Frank also, and it's those PMG championships look great with the circle holographic refractor coating on the back. So behind the player. So I think it's a great card. And that one, I think, realistically, 5,000 to 6,000, I think is what that should be. Going back to the Ruby, 8.5 is a great grade for that card. Given that how the foil how the foil chips and the surface wear, but the edges are 9.5, surface is an 8.5, which I think is fantastic in that condition.
The edges being a 9.5 on this Jeter Rubies, that's an exceptional grade for the edges. Centering 8.5, you can't even tell. Like what's wrong with the centering on this card? I don't know. It looks good. I'm sure. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it looks really, really good to me. And then corners 9 is extraordinary, and surface 8.5, decent as well. These are sensitive cards, and
Very
they're not.
sensitive.
Yeah, they're not young anymore. I mean, these cards have been around. They're already 25 years old. So really cool. I do love it. The Frank Thomas PMG Champ checklist card is pretty cool too. Marshall Falk, for all you football collectors out there, is a PSA 7. And then we have a StarQuest Gold from 1999 Upper Deck Choice, Frank Thomas, in a PSA 8. Opening bid was $500. It's up to $900 now, Josh. And I know you love your 90s inserts. That's why you started 90s auctions. I know you collect cards from the 90s. In your mind, Josh, where does the StarQuest Gold rank among other 90s Grail inserts?
For baseball, I think it's top 5, I think, for baseball. It's got a different matte finish on the baseball than it does on the basketball. And I think the StarQuest for baseball and hockey and football, I guess, also gets its popularity from the basketball insert set. But again, these were also put in dollar packs, so they're not really that easy to find. Even though they're out of 100, there is not that many of them graded. And 8 is a fantastic grade for that card, given the foil overlay on those. So that's I love Frank, and that's I think one of his best cards in the 90s. But his Rubies is a beautiful card too.
Oh, it really is. I know the card. This is 61 of 100. And like Josh said, StarQuest Golds, you kind of made the point that they get their popularity from basketball. In my opinion, it's that basketball does kind of like set the tone. For whatever reason, maybe it's just the amount of global collectors and the money that goes towards basketball. Once an insert becomes very highly sought after and popular in basketball, if that card was produced for baseball, football, or hockey, it generally follows suit. And I think that makes sense to me if it wasn't already the case. But StarQuest Golds, I know, have been very popular in hockey, even going all the way back. Like it's not a new thing. So there's a Frank Thomas, great card, only at $900 right now for a PSA 8. And again, these were in dollar packs, like you said, Josh. So they weren't necessarily, cared for across like cards are today. So great top row, lots 1 to 4. Let's move down to the next row now. We'll start off with, we have right to lead off 2 1993 Topps Finest Refractors. So Josh, tell us the significance about 1993 Finest Refractors in baseball.
So these were the first refractors made. They're extremely popular when they came out. They're not numbered, but the conventional wisdom is there's around 240 of each copy of each player. They were not in every pack, and they're just extremely popular among collectors, given they are condition sensitive, and also the centering is a big issue on these cards. There's also a lot of the higher grade have refractor lines on them. That Bonds is really clean, does not have any refractor lines. I think it's dead centered. It's a really, really nice card. If it was graded 2 years ago, it'd get a 9, I think. But everyone knows the grading is what it is. It's a beautiful looking card. The first refractors still extremely popular even today.
Yeah, and are these cards that typically, now outside of the fact that the border is green,
right,
and these are refractors, do they typically have greening like we see on Kobe and LeBron Topps Chrome rookies? Because I'm not seeing any on this.
Not really. I've never seen a real greening on 93 baseball refractors. There is on the basketball, but these came out first, and I think the basketball has a different coating on it because when you open packs from 93, it causes the bricking and it causes them to stick together because of the coating. Sports card professor is asking what causes refractor lines. It's from the printing process. When it's printed out, as it's rolled out, a refractor line will pop up, and luckily this one doesn't have one. I think it's a killer looking card.
Good stuff. And hello, 90s hockey collectors. Welcome to the show. So this Bonds opening bid $250. It's up to $300 now. And Josh, here's a question, because we are still 48 hours away from the end of the auction. What if you can give us a feel, what sort of percentage of the bids come in the last 24 hours of the auction versus the weeks leading up?
75% of the bids will come in Saturday night through Sunday night. We get a lot of people just putting, placeholder bids.
Yeah.
from the time from we opened May 13th till Sunday afternoon, and then there'll be a flurry around 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and then extended bidding starts 8 o'clock Eastern time, and then that's when most of the action takes place. So
Yeah.
there'll
Okay.
be a significant jump coming up in the next 48 hours.
All right. Good to know. We've got a Andre Dawson PSA 8 and a Sammy Sosa as well in a PSA 8 holder right here. How come the Sosa is a different design than the Dawson and the Bonds? I'm just curious about that.
I knew you were going to ask me. I didn't do my research on that one.
I don't. The answer might just be that there might not be any real answer other than they just divided up the set. This is the one I'm talking about here. 93 Finest, Sammy Sosa Refractor. I think this is a beautiful card. PSA 8. I love the blue tint around the border, although that just might be the silver. I'm not sure if it's blue or silver, but that's a really nice looking card right there. So this is card number 79. If I just go back to these ones, yeah, I think it's a low number, high number thing because it looks like the Bonds is did I have it open? Yeah, the Bonds is number 103. The Sosa 79. I think the Dawson was a triple digit as well. So who knows? Maybe every 100 cards they changed the design. Okay, and then we've got a 97 Flair Showcase Legacy Collection Row 2 Manny Ramirez. This is out of 100. It's a BGS 8.5. No bids yet on this, Josh. Does that surprise you? What do you think we could see out of this card?
No, I mean, there's a lot of lookers on it, so I think we'll get some bids starting Sunday morning. Again, Showcase Legacy, I think, are some of the coolest parallels. They've got the really neat blue holographic on the back, on the front and the back, in the blue foil. The baseballs are out of 100, whereas some basketballs out of 150. So all the baseball out of 100. Really
cool card. Manny, great player to collect. I remember collecting his rookie cards, but was it 90, 92 Upper Deck, I believe. Yep. Kraken packs that looking for his rookie. So opportunity to get in on this card. And it is one of these very popular Row 2 legacies out of 100. Oftentimes there's another parallel out of 250 in the other sports. So this is the best of those parallels, is my understanding. All right. Here we have some credentials. I love credentials. We got another Manny Ramirez right here. The 1998 Now version out of 75. We got a Bernie Williams out of 74 and a Barry Larkin out of 76. These would have been sequential in the checklist, Josh. Is that a coincidence? Or does someone have the rest of them still?
Yeah, we just that was who the consigners, those are 3 different consigners sent us those. So that was just kind of luck of the draw on those. So that was kind of neat that it turned out that way, in a sequential order.
Very neat, for sure. So the Manny Ramirez is a PSA 5, so kind of mid-grade, while Bernie Williams is a 7, Larkin is an 8. I love you got the yellow card and the pink and purple and reddish card here. That's just the difference between the nows are yellow, the futures are the red version. We got bids in on all 3 cards so far. Which one's your favorite? Which is your favorite out of these 3, Josh?
I like the Bernie Williams the best. I love the yellow and the green with the Yankee uniform in the background. I think it pops. I think it looks really nice.
Oh, it sure does. Look at that. Yep. Yeah, beautiful. And if you look at the back of these cards, you see the serial number right down there at the bottom right. This is 40 of 74. Credentials, this particular design of essential credentials are among my favorite cards in the whole hobby, Josh. Like literally, I love these 98 essential credentials. In hockey, we didn't get them until 2012 Fleer Retro, but at least they're licensed, so we have them now, and you can put together a collection of essential credentials with this design from, I believe, at least basketball, baseball, and hockey. Did football have this design?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they do in 97 for sure.
So you can get it all. You can get them all. And we got this Fleer Vintage out of 63 Sammy Sosa. Josh, I know that the Jordan card, the Jordan equivalent, is a big card because it looks like the 61 Fleers. How does the baseball version compare to the basketball version?
It doesn't go for as much, but I will tell you the 63 Fleer Vintage for baseball is extremely hard to find centered. So most of these cards are off-centered. So by a hair, like 80, 90 instead of dead centered. So you're not going to get 10s on these. So finding a 10 in any copy is quite a feat. I love these because it's a great mix between dusty and modern cards because you got the old and the new, and it's just great. And then I love vintage cards also, as you know. So this is I love how they do the throwback cards with current players. Like I love that Jordan 61 vintage. I love these too. I've been looking for a Frank Thomas forever. I've never found one.
Wow, and it's numbered on the back here. This is 36 of 63. And yeah, this is one of those cards where when you look at it, it doesn't look too impressive, the card itself, but when you understand what it is and how it fits into the landscape of these inserts from the 90s, and the fact that there are the basketball ones as well, which I think are nicer because that 61 Fleer basketball design is so iconic. This is actually this card is more than what it looks like, and like you said, it is a dent. It's not perfectly centered, but that's okay. It's about as good as it does get. Andy Sweat says it's hard to find. Period. Those Fleer Vintage 61 bye it's bye baby cards. Find me a Bonds. He says, yeah, impossible to find. Well, we do have Find me a Bonds. There's the Sosa right there. Good to see you, Andy. And Orlando is here as well. Good evening, Orlando. Thank you for stopping by. And the professor wants to know, does Josh prefer serial numbers on the front or the back of a card?
I like them on the back. The front, it takes away from the card. Like keep it on the back, and you can enjoy the front part of the card just as well.
I think it depends on how the serial number is stamped. I think of like the cup cards in hockey, and I love the serial number on the front. I almost, so some the front, some the back. I'm good either. I really don't have a preference. All right. Anything else here that you wanted to highlight before we go to the next row?
I think we covered it. Keep going.
All right. Oh, the Roger Clemens essential credentials as well. Numbered out of 97 in a PSA 5. Platinum medallion, Randy Johnson. Now, in basketball, I believe some years these are numbered out of 100. Right. What's the case with this one?
It's out of 100 as well. The Randy, that's 98 platinum medallion. And it's that again, those susceptible to tearing and chipping on the edges because of the foil. So of the parallels, those and the Showcase Legacy are my favorite parallels in the 90s.
There's the serial number right there, 60 of 100, numbered on the back. This is a really cool card. And what I mean by that is and I'll be honest, Josh, I'm typically not a huge fan of these platinum medallions because of their monochromatic sort of look. I like some color. Doesn't matter what I think. These are very popular, but that baseball behind him that looks like it's almost in motion, or I guess there's several baseballs behind him. Is that the same design across the whole set, or is that specific to the Randy Johnson?
That's just for Randy because as a pitcher. So it's a great. I like the monochromatic part of the platinum medallions. Is like the gold's got the gold background, platinum's got the just the black and white, which they have that in basketball too. So yeah, it's a cool card, and it's up only $190 right now. It's a PSA 7, and the opening bid was $150 on it. We've got a Donruss Century Marks Chipper Jones out of 100 autograph PSA 6. And here's another Flair Showcase Legacy Mark McGuire out of 100. This is a PSA 9, Josh. We got to open this one up and have a peek at this bad boy, if I may. So like I said before, I might have said it. Another card I'm not a huge fan of, just personally, are the Legacy Collection Flair Showcase Row 2s or the Row 2. This design, however, I love this design. I've owned a couple of these cards before, and this is the one with the blue lettering, which means it's the tougher. It's the one out of 100. Right. But this background design, this effect going on, it's stunningly beautiful. Do you agree? What do you think? I love these. They're great. I love horizontal cards. I think horizontal cards are great or cool, and I love how they really pop in hand in terms of the how they refract and how they look, kind of like the rubies in hand, how they reflect the light.
Good point right there. Great comparison. I also want to say I love the backs of these cards. They are just clean, full body shot of the player, and the serial number looks great there. This is 52 of 100. Nice card, $130 right now for that. I have to think these numbers are going to go up by Sunday night. So otherwise, I'm like, oh, bid. Lots of great stuff. All right. Oh, we have the first Jeremy Lee consigned item in this row here, Josh, but we'll start off with the SP Authentic Chirography Ken Griffey Jr. on-card autograph, BGS 9.5 on the card, 10 on the auto. It's bid up to $550 right now. tell us what you like about this card.
I like these choreography cards from 99 just because there's a really nice clean auto against a nice action shot of the player. They're tough to get auto 10s just because a lot of times the player will sign off of the card or they'll smudge just because of the glossy type of card it is. So it's a really, really sharp auto for Griffey.
This auto might be the nicest Griffey auto I've seen. I'm just inspecting it right now on my other monitor, and
it's nice.
It's perfect, Josh. Like it's the same like weight of the ink throughout the whole thing. There's no streaks. I hardly see starts and stops.
Right.
Unbelievable Griffey autograph here.
Yeah, it's really clean.
Wow.
Finding a 10 auto is not the easiest thing to find, and it's
no.
He's got a great swing, right? It's a great image. So I like it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a card.
Yeah.
What a card. We're up to 575 on this one. The professor. Oh, first let's say hello to Hodges. Good evening. Professor says for these 90s cards, is there much differential of value between BGS and PSA? I'll let you take that question, Josh. I have my thoughts, but go ahead.
I think so. I think there's a significant value in PSA as opposed to BGS. Which
to me is like it. When I hear that, I think to myself, are we buying cards or are we buying holders? You know, are you paying, you know? So to me, all that screams is opportunity to buy the BGS slabs. I mean, if that opportunity includes you cracking it and sending it to PSA, that's fine. Otherwise, if you're just a card collector versus a collector of plastic, then what a great opportunity that is for the savvier collector, I would say. All right. 1999 MVP Barry Bonds gold script out of 100. MVP has some really cool parallels. Josh, you probably know all about these and more than I do about them. How does the gold script out of 100 from MVP compare to some of these other inserts we've seen out of 100, like the StarQuest gold, like the Flair showcase?
Well, it's similar in the sense like the StarQuest gold in that they were in the smaller dollar box cards, dollar pack cards for kids, and there's different levels. There's a gold is out of 100. There's one out of 50, and there's one out of 25. So technically, 100 back in 1999 was not a lot, right? Now we talk about 10, but back then 100 was considered, very short printed. And now they have in that same set, they have 25. So, the 25 one's hard to find, tough to find as well. We have a Griffey out of 25 coming in our next auction that someone consigned actually this week. So that's pretty cool.
Very nice. Well, this Bonds is currently at $120 with, of course, 2 days to go. Our second StarQuest gold of the evening is the Ivan Rodriguez PSA 6. No bids on this yet, but I have to think we're going to see something. And then the Ken Griffey Jr. Lynchpins PSA 9. This has been my card. I acquired this card from Mealy Pops at the 2021 Atlantic City National. I was collecting some Lynchpins and they just didn't make the cut, Josh, when I went through a recent PC reorganization. And unfortunately, I'm not keeping them because I do like them and I might regret that, but it is what it is. We'll see. Maybe I'll buy them back in the future. But for now, I'm offering in your auction here my personal, my old personal Ken Griffey Jr. I do love the cards, despite the fact that I'm getting out of them. And I am sort of sad, but I love the color, the red, the yellow background, the little Lynchpin or whatever those little things are supposed to be, all those die cut holes in the card. They're just cool. And hockey had their first ones recently come out. Just recently. Nice. So it's pretty cool. Of course, the Michael Jordan card kind of leads the way for all Lynchpins. I've never owned that one. But Josh, tell us your thoughts on what you think about Lynchpins and maybe this Griffey card.
So Lynchpins are cool because they've got these little holes in them. So you're holding up to the light, you can see through the card, which I think is pretty neat. The baseball ones, I think the color in baseball is, I think, a lot sharper than basketball. Basketball is blue, I believe, and these are the orange and yellow, and which I think are really, really sharp.
I agree. These are nicer than the football copies, which the basketball copies are the same as football. Basketballs, they're not as nice. They made them nicer. The color palette was a lot nicer for baseball and football. And if we go to the next row, we'll see this was my Cal Ripken Jr. as well. This card I bought raw, actually, from Irving, from Monera Sports Cards in LA. I bought it out of a showcase, and had it graded myself. Yeah, my Cal Ripken Jr. I love Cal Ripken, but I've got a better Ripken card that I've kept, and it's going with the rest of my linchpins. But great card. Anything about the Ripken that comes to mind for you?
I just know right in his heyday after he broke the streak and was, at the height of his popularity, he's still extremely popular today among collectors in baseball.
Professor says it looks like the 2022-23 Upper Deck Metal Universe linchpins. Well, yeah, except it's the other way around. The 2022s look like those. That's what they are modeled after. That's the inspiration for them. These ones definitely came first. All right, finest milestones. Frank Thomas out of 3,000 PSA 10. Josh, not a card I'm familiar with. I want to take a look at this. Well, let's get in. Let's zoom in on this thing. First of all, I do love the Topps Finest logo on cards. I really do.
Yeah.
This is a cool looking card, Josh. How does this look? Like, it looks like it'd be amazing in hand.
It is.
Is it as nice as it seems to be?
It is. The color really pops out at you. It's kind of a refractor type. It's not a refractor, but it's a refractor type coating on it. And it's just one of the best hitters of the 90s. And again, hard to find any of these in 10s because when you're ripping open packs, you're going to ding a corner, scuff it up. But these are real clean.
I love the serial number. Looks great there too. Yeah. Like just a good thick gauge of that gold printing on the serial number. I know it sounds silly to say, but that's what us sports card guys do, right? We find joy in the little minutia of these cards. And I also like the glow around his body here.
Me too.
That's really cool. That's a great looking card. Is it a good checklist, Josh, overall for these milestones? Do you know?
Yeah, it was milestones for players who were going to reach those significant milestones. Like that's 3,000 because of 3,000 hits. There's one for 500 home runs. So it's all the big hitters from the day. So,
all right.
Thomas Griffey, all those guys.
Very cool. All right. No bids on that yet. And I certainly love it. Starting bids $100. So open to anybody there. A 2000 Skybox Derek Jeter higher level Star Ruby PSA 5. It's got a opening bid at $500 has been placed. And I'm going in because I saw Star Ruby. And this is a Star Ruby design that I don't feel like I'm familiar with it, Josh. Yeah, why would that be? I mean, what feels recognizable to me is the design of these thin ruby foil lines, but the background image, the background stock is one I'm not familiar with.
No, that's from 2000. The way they did it was they had the rubies were just the red overlay foil and then numbered out of 50 to the back. So that's the only difference. And that was, towards the end of that run for rubies.
Unbelievable. Only 50 of these made. It is a PSA 5. I'm just going to take a quick look at this thing. Yeah, a little bit of corner wear there. Yeah, the corners have some white showing, but not, I mean, unless there's some edge wear on the back.
Sure.
But still not too bad. Like seriously, not too bad. And we do expect, it's like PMGs. You kind of expect it, but look at that. 11 of only 50 copies of this Jeter card. Yeah. Come on. This has to be a beast of a card.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. Refresh. We're Let's Go Jordan tells me to refresh. Let's see what I saw him say something about let's just do a refresh here. Did he bid on the Griffey? Griffey has not been bid on. What about the Frank Thomas? No. Let's check out the Jeter. Was it let's see if it was the Ripken. He told me.
Yeah.
Let's see if he bid on the Ripken. I saw in he bid on the, he says, okay, I'm sold on the Ripken. Let's go, Jordan. Thank you. The Ripken is my card, so thank you for bidding on it. Please bid early and bid often, as they say.
That's right, especially in Illinois, right? So,
let's go, Jordan. Yeah, what's up from Winnetka? There we go.
It's down the street from me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the next suburb over. Yeah.
Well, good to see you. Let's go, Jordan. Thanks for tuning in to the show. All right, let's close up a bunch of these ones and move along, Josh. 2000 Skybox Dominion Manny Ramirez, Eye on October. This is what I love about 90s auctions, Josh, is that you guys specialize in this stuff. It's niche, and I am seeing cards here for the first time right now. That's what I love about the 90s. That's what I love about. I've been in this hobby over 44 years, and I'm still discovering new cards. I mean, that's so cool. Tell us a bit about this. So
Dominion, the Warp Tech is the parallel that was numbered out of the player's jersey. So it's Eye in October is the players, for the World Series. but it was just so the Jeter, and that's out of 2, right? So good luck finding that. There's a Frank Thomas out of 35, which I've never seen and I desperately need. And this is one of my favorite cards in this auction, just because they never pop up that often, and there's a really, really neat sort of niche kind of card that you don't really hear about all that much. I think a Jeter did sell about a couple of years ago, though, and made a little bit of Instagram news, if I recall.
Well, yeah, that would be newsworthy for sure. But Josh, what I'm noticing in the background, these little egg-shaped things, that reminds me of some lenticular like jambalayas, and that is it similar at all to a jambalaya?
It does. It definitely has that like wavy refractor kind of look at it when you move it in the light. And it's one of my favorite cards in this set, in this auction by far.
Very cool. Very cool. Are you allowed to bid on items in the auction for your own PC?
I am not. So that's the hardest part about this, is like that Frank checklist I really want, and then that card I want too. But so we're not allowed to bid on anything in our auction. John and I can't bid. So,
well, I think that's the right thing to do. But hey, that's what it goes. A sacrifice. You can't buy the card, but you're building the business and building out 90sauctions.com. All right. Oh gosh. So this card here, this Nomar from 2000, Essential Credentials from EX, Nomar Garcia Parra out of 49, PSA 9. It's at $110. The thing that I think about when I see this card is Tom Brady rookie. It's the same year as that one Tom Brady rookie, which is one of my favorite Brady rookies, even though the way Brady is situated on his card. This piece here, this little blue thing coming out between these two purple sections, it looks like a tail coming out of Tom Brady's behind, but in this case it doesn't. With Nomar, it looks really good. That's a great card right there. All right, keeping on going. 2001 Donruss Long Ball Leader Season Sum, Barry Bonds out of 49. Another one, Josh, another card I just don't think I've really seen many of these before. Die cut, BGS 9, and numbered on the back out of 49. Josh, where are you finding these obscure cards?
So early Donruss, early 2000s Donruss and Leaf have some really, really neat and interesting types of inserts and parallels. These were for the, whatever home runs you hit the year before. So he had 49 homers in 2000, so it's numbered to 49. If someone hit 30, it'd be numbered to 30. So that was that set. And they have one for, I think, RBI, and for, I think, total either stolen bases or something like that, or home runs and runs. So people come up to us. John and I set up at shows, and that's been the best thing we've done the past year. And it's a good way to meet and connect with both consigners and customers. And then they reach out to us, and we're lucky enough to get some of these as consignments.
Nice. And I wonder if there'll be a lot of action this summer in Cleveland, with people kind of scouring the show floor, looking to purchase cards to bring them to you for consignment, because you guys are still small enough that every item gets attention, as an example, pretty much on this show right now. So, and you guys do a great job on Instagram of sharing the cards in the stories and all that. So if you're not following 90s Auctions on Instagram, make sure you are. You're going to see cards you don't really see anywhere else.
And that's all John. John does all the ads. He's really good at it. I am not that much of a techie, but he's really good at making those ads.
He does. Yeah, he does a great job. Okay, this next card is at $1,500. This is the 97 Metal Universe Michael Jordan base card in a PSA 10. And this card sort of, to me, it has two claims to fame. Number one, I do think this is the nicest base card ever made. Like this particular card, number 23 from 97 Metal Universe, the Michael Jordan. I love the colors. I own a copy of this. I have a PSA 9 copy. I absolutely love this card, Josh. And PSA 10 is an elusive grade for it. I actually am curious. I used to know the population off the top of my head. Do you happen to know the population on this? If not, I'm going to look it up.
It's like 120 around 120.
120.
Around there.
Yeah. That's even a bit higher than I would have thought. But you know what? If you think about the PMGs, and there's only 100 PMGs altogether between the red and the greens, and now there's 100 and something of these in PSA 10 holders. That's not a huge number. I'm just confirming. I'm just on the PSA app website. Just going to bring up the population, and it is 144 is the population on this card right now. But I do consider this to be the nicest base card, maybe ever made. I'm not including vintage.
Right.
And as Let's Go Jordan says, very,
Very.
very grade sensitive, condition sensitive with a foil surface. Josh, your thoughts on this card, please.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of the most popular base cards made in the 90s, and obviously because of the PMG connection, it gets a huge amount of bump. And as we saw this past week, if you want a red PMG, you could just color it in. So there you go. So you're set.
You can easily convert this to a red PMG.
Exactly. You're set. No problem.
Yeah. Oh, boy. And we are obviously just kidding.
Right.
Do not do that.
No,
Okay.
don't color your cards. No.
Beam Team, members only, Michael Jordan, 1993, PSA 9. These cards I found look a lot nicer in person than they do on, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah, much because you can get that members only little stamp in the top left corner. It doesn't really come out on a scan, but it's
Right
there, and
there.
it was from the set, and you can kind of see it, but in person it pops a lot more. And the members only obviously significantly less popular, less of them than the regular Beam teams.
Yeah. The members only stamp is embossed right there.
Yeah.
And when all these little, I don't know what you call these things, these neon type designs, when you hold them under light, they do sparkle and shine. A great card there at $475 right now. Yeah. Next row, we've got some Fleer Living Legends, Michael Jordan, BGS 9. We've got an Ultra Scoring Kings, Michael Jordan, BGS 8.5 at 2.25. Mm-hmm. We got the Skybox Premium Meltdown, Jason Kidd, PSA 9 at $30. Now, my understanding, Josh, in dealing, being friends with Jordan collectors, like basketball collectors like yourself, is that the Scoring Kings is kind of like a major, it's an affordable grail for a lot of people. It's got a lot of nostalgia, but for my money, the Meltdown is a much nicer card. So let's open these up and have a quick look at them. This card, it's nice, but it's the lightning that you see in the background. Mm-hmm. It's really subtle. It really is subtle, even in hand. But look at this thing. This guy, it's like lava and fireworks going on. To me, the Meltdown is a much nicer card than the Scoring Kings, but the Scoring Kings is more popular. Set me straight. Am I right about that?
I mean, it is definitely more popular. The Meltdown's cool because it's got like 3 separate types of foil on the card. It's like the card's melting. Like the blue is peeling off the card. It's very, it's made 3 years later, so I think the technology probably changed a little. And and the Jordan in that card is really cool. It's taking a jump shot. It's a really great image, and that kid's awesome too, though. So they do look really neat in person.
And I believe this is one of the first sort of real popular Jordan inserts. So I think that's partially why it's so popular. And Jason Kidd, still relevant in the NBA. So
he's leading his team to the finals. Sorry.
So, very relevant.
Yeah.
Bowman's Best Cuts Refractor, Michael Jordan PSA 8 with a bit of 180. Nice looking card here. And a kind of a neat die cut design where only the bottom left corner actually has die cut. The rest of the 4 corners are full, but I do love the looks of these cards. I think it also comes in an atomic refractor version.
It does.
Which is cool too. Is this card numbered?
No.
Not numbered.
It's not. No.
And most times refractors are not numbered. Atomics can be numbered in other cases.
Yeah.
All right. Topps Chrome Antoine Walker, PSA 9 without a bid. 2 more, or I guess these are the first 2 cut aboves. 96 Skybox EX2000. We have the Anthony Hardaway in a PSA 8, and we have the Shaquille O'Neal, my card, everybody, on consignment with 90s auctions. And I got what I consider to be a really nice Shaquille O'Neal collection, and I trimmed it down. Cut above did not make the cut for me. Another one I know I'll regret. I'll know I'll end up buying one back eventually. Beautiful cards. I do prefer the football version of a cut aboves where the bottom is also die cut. But tell us your thoughts on a cut above.
I love the baseball and football where it's got the whole saw as the card itself. I think these came first, basketball, I believe, and then they just, because the whole saw is there, right? And they just edited or made it different for baseball and football, which you see a lot of in different copies of like different sports among similar inserts in the 90s.
Slight adjustments as time goes by and technology changes, and really the creativity of arena design and other design teams at these card companies really start to to just, churn out cooler and cooler cards. All right.
And
96 Stadium Club Kobe Bryant members only, PSA 10, Josh, only 55. Is that the name of the card, or is that the print, or is that the population?
That's the name of the card. And
members only 55. Look at that. Never heard of it.
And I think trimmed it down might have been the wrong choice of words. They die cut out the whole saw. No one's trimming anything. Sorry.
No, yeah. And that's in reference to the cut aboves, where in football and baseball, as you can see here in the basketball cut above on the shack, the top of the card is die cut like a saw. You can see the bottom of the saw. There's more card coming below it. In baseball and football, they made the saw kind of longer, and they die cut the bottom. So it's die cut on the top and the bottom. It's a really, really cool card. Trimmed it down almost in reference to the saw itself. Anything to talk about with this members only 55?
I think we're good. It's just, again, I think anything from the 90s in a 10 is tough to find given the sensitivity of condition with those cards. Anything in a 10. Well,
it's already got bids to 275. The Shack's up to 3 1/4. The Ann Fernie Hardaway's up to 180, and we need a bid on Antoine Walker right over here. All right, next up, Bowman's Best Michael Jordan Techniques Atomic Refractor PSA 9 up to 375. Josh, another card. Oh, I have seen this one before. Yeah. This is a cool looking card. Is it acetate at all, or is this thing completely like not see-through?
It's not see-through. It's a solid card. It just got those rings and the refractor technology on it. The atomic refractor technology. There's the regular refractor, and then there's the atomic for this one.
It's a really cool looking card, in my opinion. Ultra Stars Kobe Bryant PSA 9 up to 300. We've got the Kobe Bryant High Voltage from Hoops PSA 8 at 150. Another card that came out of like a dollar pack.
Yeah, right.
That just wasn't respected in its day. How about now? How are high voltages doing overall in the hobby?
Pretty popular, especially the high voltage, especially their parallel, the 500 series, are still extremely popular among collectors.
Yeah, for sure. And a Finest Refractors, Shaquille O'Neal, BGS 9.5 right there at $150. We've got another platinum medallion. This is the second one of the night. This is the David Robinson PSA 9. That's pretty strong.
Very strong
platinum medallion, Josh, out of 100. Anything specific about this card you'd like to mention? Did you hold it in hand?
Yep.
Is it in mint condition in your opinion?
I think so. I think it's very clean for a 9. There's such issues of chipping on these, especially in the corners and the edges, and it's a really clean looking 9.
It really is. I just went across the corners and edges. It looks really good on the front. Couple of small edge issues. This really small, not on the right edge. Nothing. Oh, a little thing right there at the top, but it's minor. Coming down the side, you got a little bit of white right there. These are minor things right there a little bit. Number 81 of 100, platinum medallion. Killer card, Josh. Killer card. Yeah, really. 375. I'm certain that amount is gonna get higher and higher as the next 48 hours go by. Diamond Dimensions, Shaquille O'Neal, BGS 8 out of 100. It's bid up to 650. We got a Duncan Go Nuts, Scottie Pippen, PSA 9. Doesn't seem to have any yellowing going on to me here, Josh. This one looks to be, that's crystal clear. That's about as good as they get as far as lacking discoloration.
Absolutely.
You agree?
I think so. It's a really clean 9. Yeah, those, there's that gold version everyone says, right, with all the yellow, but these are, I love these nice, clean, clear copies are really something in person.
Yeah, this is a really strong copy. I've owned a couple of these. I can tell you this is a very, very strong copy for the Pippen. Let's go Jordan, says the Robinson looks solid for the card. I thought so too. I really did. And refresh all these. You keep on bidding. Let's see let's see if there's anything going on here. So did he 375? Let's go Jordan did not bid on this one. 375 on the Robinson is now up to 450. The bids are coming in during the live stream. Let's go Jordan. Thank you for letting us know. It makes it more fun. All right, Tim Duncan, StarQuest Gold out of 100, PSA 8. Another strong grade for a Grail 90s card, and Tim Duncan's no slouch.
No, not at all. He was one of the best players in the 90s. Gets obviously overshadowed by someone, but no, he's his numbers hold up against some of the all-time greats.
Card is really nice. There's a serial number on the back, 89 of 100. there are a couple of corner issues, but that's to be expected on these cards, and they're not deal breakers for me. That's just the way it is. But the way I look at these cards, the first thing I look at is the centering, and I always measure the distance from this corner. It's not a corner, but the angle of these two lines coming down the side. So how wide is this little niche right there versus the one over here? You can see this one is off center to the left a little bit, but still well within a PSA 8 standards. A very, very nice card, bid up to $700 right now. All right, Flair Legacy Showcase, Matt Harpring, row 2. This is the Gem Masterpiece 1 of 1. I've never heard of this guy, Josh, but it's a Gem Masterpiece 1 of 1. That is very important. There's people just collecting these things. What do you think can happen here with a common? I think Matt Harpring is a common player.
I mean, he can't walk down the street in Minnesota. I think he's is a household name. I would say it goes. I think it's got some room still, probably between $500 and $750. It's still a Gem Masterpiece, and people collect those.
Yeah, let's go. Jordan says who exactly? We have three more platinum medallions out of 100. Dikembe Mutombo, PSA 7. Tariq Abdul Wahad, a PSA 6, and a Tim Thomas, PSA 7. We have a bid on Dikembe. The other two still need bids. All right, Upper Deck game jersey, Charles Barkley, PSA 8, 1999. These early game jersey cards are amazing, Josh. I collect the hockey ones. I'd love to do the basketball ones too, but it's just, that Jordan, the Kobe, they get very expensive. Zone Busters, Shaquille O'Neal, Refractor, really nice card. PSA 10 as well. The first bid is in at $100, and an Ultra Power Wayne Gretzky from 1996 Flair Ultra, PSA 8. This card's actually really neat. I own a copy of this. I think I forget what my grade is, but if you look at this, that outer border is like a deep green, and it's got like sparkles on them.
Oh yeah,
almost like your daughter would wear sparkles or glitter. It's almost glitter is what I meant to say. And if I recall, you can put your thumb on the card and you'll see some glitter on your thumb.
Right.
So these condition sensitive, right?
Very condition sensitive. So an 8 is not too bad in that, so it's an awesome looking insert from the 90s for Wayne.
Very, very, very neat looking card. I would say for me, it's almost an acquired taste on these because that green is deep. It's kind of a weird color for the card, but at the end of the day, it works. And I think it's that awkwardness that draws me into things. It's like, I don't want them to be just ugly, but if they're not ugly and they have some weird color combination or feature like this glitter, that like it's like those stubble cards. You remember stubble in hockey where they actually put like this suede on it so it felt like the player hadn't shaven?
Yeah, I forgot about those, but yes, I remember that. That's a blast from the past.
So, yeah, exactly. All right, let's go. Jordan says, okay, I'm sold on the Wayne. Let's see if he's put in his bid. Let's refresh. The bid is in. Let's go. Jordan has put in the bid on the Gretzky. Dude, let's go, Jordan. We're not trying to convince you here, I swear, but I'm glad that you're finding value in this.
Thanks.
97 Donruss Limited Fabric of the Game Legendary Material Wayne Gretzky, numbered 100 of 100. I personally think that's cool. I'm a bit of a sucker for serial numbers at times. I'll admit I'm not a huge fan of the front of this card, but let's look at the back. 100 of 100. That's good and do it for me, Josh. I think that's the coolest serial number. What about you?
Yeah, I love the book. I love the bookends, 1 in 100, and then the early prints, like the first third of the run, is usually the deepest color too. So
now this card is raw. How do you guys at 90s Auctions handle the sales of raw cards in terms of describing or being transparent about the condition?
Sure. So, we offer high res scans. So like you say, you can blow it up and take a look at it so you know what you're getting into before you bid. John is great at ascertaining grades and ascertaining kind of where the issues are on a card. So, he looks at everything, obviously raw, before we put it up, and then we describe it. And if there's anything major, obviously we'll list it, but the scans are high resolution and easy to detect any issues with the card.
Yeah, as I look at it, it's hard for me to tell you what this thing would grade, but based on the back, and I'm just seeing I don't even know if that's edge wear or not. It just might be the way it is, but I'm thinking you're looking at a PSA 8 anyway. But that's, again, don't hold me to it.
Right.
I am just speculating on that. But let's go, Jordan. Raw, my question. I got your question before you. So we're thinking the same way. Let's go, Jordan. Think great minds think alike, as they say. All right, we have a limited exposure from Donruss, Martin Brodeur, PSA 7. I believe these cards are thought to be out of 30.
30. Yeah.
Not numbered, but said to be out of 30. A UD Choice, Joe Sakic Prime Reserve out of 100. These are really cool. We have the Gretzky from 98 as well in a PSA 10. That's pretty cool. Here's another Gretzky PSA. Why do we have two Gretzkys here, Josh, from the same set?
So that one's the GM Choice, and they had different subsets. There was the base Prime Choice Reserve, which is the Sakic. Then they had the GM's Choice, it was Gretzky, and like another player's pictures in the background. Like in that one, I think it's Yzerman in lot 55, and then which I think it's a Red Wing, and then
yeah, that's Yzerman with Gretzky.
Yeah, and then the next lot is going to be Wah. So two of the most hated players in the 90s, from my perspective. So they can they're great cards though. Good thing Wayne's got the prime spot on that as opposed to,
the other guy.
My childhood, but that's okay.
This one's I like this Prime Choice Reserve text in the background on this card. Does the eyes? Oh, this one has it too, but it's lighter. Right. These are really cool, very discreet.
I think Upper Deck had some of the coolest inserts and parallels in the late 90s, and I get a lot of blowback for that. But I love Prime Choice Reserve, Diamond Dimensions, like we have that Shaq. There's subtle, discreet, hand-numbered inserts. I think they're some of the cleanest and nicest looking parallels and inserts.
Right on. I gotta say, we are killing it on Twitter right now. We have double the viewers on Twitter than we do on YouTube at the moment. So I want to thank everybody watching on Twitter/X. We got about 6 people right now watching on Instagram. So thank you guys. And for just a better viewing experience, come on over to YouTube. That's just, we can have a better look at your comments on YouTube. Okay. Here we have a 9098 Nicholas Lidstrom Bowman's Best Atomic Refractor out of 100. It's a PSA 10. These are tied for my top 2 favorite inserts or parallels from the 90s for hockey. My other number one is the is the Sixth Sense Wizards. I love that card. But these cool. Here, Josh, are unbelievably beautiful. I'm fortunate to own a Gretzky and an Yzerman from this set, your favorite Detroit Red Wings. This is the Lidstrom, Nicholas Lidstrom. Great card here. And PSA 10's a tough grade for these. Tell us your thoughts on Atomic Refractors from hockey, because look how gorgeous this thing is.
I think they're amazing. I love Atomic Refractors in all sports, but they're gorgeous. That one really popped. Frankly, the jersey looks really nice against the background. I hate to say it, but it looks really nice. From an objective business point of view, it looks good.
I just grabbed my Yzerman. I'm going to spotlight myself just so people watching can see what these look like in the light. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Come on. Tell me you don't want to just take this on a walk as you go, around the block. Maybe you're going to just finish your morning coffee. You're going to walk around the block holding this card under the sun and just looking at it. Look at this. Come on. Do you guys just want to? I should do a show, Josh, where I'm just holding this card and doing this for an hour.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't watch it, but you might want to.
You wouldn't watch that?
It's Steve Yzerman. He's the villain. He's the villain. Him and
This is the Lidstrom, one of his teammates from the 90s. Some would argue the best defenseman of all time. Most would say Bobby Orr, and I think that would be true. Nick Lidstrom, a top 3 all-time defenseman, I would have to say.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Great card, one that I may be bidding on in the next few hours. All right, we got a Sign of the Times Gretzky Auto BGS 9 from 1998 and a SP Game Used inked sweaters out of 50 from 2001. I'm going to open these up, Josh, just to take a quick look at how the autographs are. So the Sign of the Times. Oh yeah, that autograph. It's not like I'd say 100% perfect, or is it? It's hard to see. I'm seeing a little bit of inconsistency in the weight of the pen, but it's still on there pretty good. It did grade out a 10 by Beckett. The card grades out a 9, and this is that autograph is nice and thick on the card. The card grades out an 8, and it's an all-star card, an all-star jersey that Gretzky is in on this card, Josh.
Yep.
All right. Let's keep on rolling. Electrifying 2012 Fleer Retro. Joe Sakic PSA 10 has the opening bid of $100. Josh, here's a card that's really special. 2002 Topps Captain's Cloth. This one features Mario Lemieux, Matt Sundin, and Keith Primo. This is numbered 1 of 50, and it's a PS8. We don't have a bid on this one yet, which I'm surprised about because these cards were tough. Tell us your thoughts on that.
That was a case hit, the 3 jersey card. So it's 1 out of 2,100, I believe. And it's hand numbered to 50, and that's the first one. And it's an extremely hard card. It was, from the whole case. You could get other Captain's Cloths, but they were just the single jersey card. The triple jersey was 1 in each case. So it's an extremely difficult card to find. We picked this up at the expo. So
yeah, I think I know who, it wasn't me, but I know who consigned it to you. A friend of mine in the hobby, a good guy, another Josh. And
that's right. If your name is Josh, you can't go wrong. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. No, these are cool cards. I remember them. And what I don't remember, which I'm glad I'm noticing here, is that this gold foil around the C's, it's really popping in this picture. So well done. Quick announcement, everybody. Quick announcement. Rage has joined the chat, everybody. Welcome, Rage, to the chat. He says he's been saying it for years. Atomics are the top tier shine in the game. Yeah, I'm with you, Rage, for sure. Let's go. Jordan says, beauty of a card, slight vomit in my throat for Steve, though. So you don't like the Red Wings.
If he's from around me, if from around here, he's definitely not a Detroit fan. So yeah.
1992 All-World Jim Brown autograph has a bid of $100.
Yeah.
And these are interesting cards here, guys. 1996 Playoff Illusions Spectralusion Elites, Barry Sanders and Jerry Rice. These are my cards. I consigned these to 90s auctions. I bought these at the Atlantic City National in 2021, and I bought them from the guy who designed them for Donruss Playoff back in the day. He was set up with a bunch of cards.
That's cool.
I don't know where he got them. I'm not asking questions, but he worked for that company. Maybe they were from his personal collection. He was selling them off, and I picked up the Barry Sanders and the Jerry Rice. And I thought number one is the provenance was cool because they came from the guy who designed them. And number two, they're just beautiful cards. You can't really see it in these images. But Josh, I don't know if you noticed, when you hold this card in hand, depending on how you tilt it, it looks like 2 totally different cards.
Right. It does. The really cool shine on it.
Really cool. Look at that. It looks like the thing is swimming. It's almost got a plasma-like movement going on. Really cool cards. And again, I got these right from the guy who designed them. So a little story for anyone who's going to be purchasing them here through 90s auctions tonight. Let's go says, explain the tilt. I don't know that I can. If I had one in hand, I could, but it's like, well, here, actually I can, because I'm noticing the difference between the Sanders and the Jerry Rice. So let me just open up the Jerry Rice card for a second. And so, okay, look at the design here. You can kind of see like this fingerprint almost image in the background, right, on the Barry Sanders. But if you tilt it here, notice it's got like that. This you're seeing on this card also exists on this card. And what you're seeing on this Barry Sanders card, this look also exists if you hold the Jerry Rice at the right angle. It's basically 2 different cards in one. One of the reasons why I bought them. I just thought they were so cool. So there you have it. A couple more of the cards I submitted. All right. We have a Leaf Rookies and Stars Peyton Manning longevity out of 50. This is a Peyton Manning rookie out of 50.
Yeah. No, that's got some room to go. I mean, the longevities were all out of 50 and pretty tough pulls in the day. And then we have a couple good Mannings in this auction.
I just want to have a look at this thing. Yeah, he's in his pro uniform, which is really important. There's this. Look at that.
Outstanding.
$28. Hold on. Are we back?
Yep, I'm here.
Hang tight.
Mine's good.
Okay, keep tight. Give me a minute. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 sec. We're coming back. We're coming back. Hang tight, everybody. We're coming back. We're coming back. Hang tight. Hang tight. Hang tight, Josh.
I'm here.
Okay. Hang tight. Hang tight. Hang tight. Hang tight. Hang tight.
How about now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Should be fine now. That happens once in a while. All right. The Peyton Manning rookie card at a 50, Josh. I wouldn't be surprised if there was another 0 put on that by the end of the auction. But yeah, as Let's Go Jordan says, Manning looks 12 in this picture.
He does.
I think that's an exceptional card. Like I'm really surprised that this card exists. Peyton Manning, like I'm used to his SP Authentic parallel out of 2000, I believe, or he's got the 2000 and the parallel out of 100, I believe, from SPA. Amazing card. All right. We have another Peyton Manning Choice Reserve out of 100 PSA 9. I know you love that card, Josh.
It's great.
Love your Prime Choice Reserves. And then we've got the Fleer Brilliance, Charles Woodson, the gold out of 99, and a Barry Sanders Lynchpins. This was my Barry Sanders Lynchpins as well. Also picked this up at the Atlantic City National in 2021. So I'll be sad to see it go in PSA 8. All right, guys, we only have another 15 or so items to run through. We'll try and get them through them a little bit quicker. We got the Peyton Manning Lynchpins PSA 8, another one of my cards in the auction. We got the Skybox Rubies Curtis Martin out of 50. This has got a bit of 110 so far. This is a raw copy. We got the Topps Triple Threads Sepia Kobe Bryant out of 99, SGC 9.5. Still needs its first bid. And a Stadium Club Firebrand Ken Griffey Jr. PSA 10 with an opening bid of $100 that has come in, Josh. These 4 cards, which is your favorite?
I like the Firebrand and I like the Martin. I like the Martin a lot, the Curtis Martin. He's got a real strong following still today. There's a lot of severely damaged Jet fans out there who really want to still collect his cards.
Yeah, I love the look of it. The green, it's almost a color match. It's really, really pretty. Look at that.
It's a great looking card. And the Firebrand is really neat too. It's like wood. It's like it's kind of burnt off a little. It's a really neat looking card.
Oh, look at that. Look at that right there at the top. Oh, isn't that cool? Yeah, I've never held one of these in hand, these Stadium Clubs, but that's a PSA 10. Current bid is the opening bid's in for 100.
Yep.
I think there's still likely lots of room there. All right, we have some wax here. We got a 2-box lot of 95 Fleer Emotion, 96 Fleer Skybox Circa, and then we have a finest embossed Sammy Sosa die cut refractor PSA 9. Are these the ones with the little ripples around all the borders?
It's not. Yeah, no, not that one. It's got.
Yeah, look.
Oh, that we the ripples like the stamp kind of perforations.
Yeah. I love that die cut because you don't lose much of the card. You still have almost the whole card there. You know, often with die cuts, you're missing square footage. Like it just doesn't exist. This card is still a nice rectangle. I like that die cut a lot. PSA 9, beautiful refractor, die cut refractor, Sammy Sosa. And then we've got a Bowman's Best. What's MI?
Mirror image because it's got 2 people, 1 person on each side.
Ah, got it. So we've got the front of the card has Cruz Jr., Jose Cruz Jr., and the back of the card, Ruben Mateo. Look at that serial number is beautiful. 74 out of 100. That is a PSA 10. All right. Skybox Technique Rubies. Josh, what is a Skybox Tech? I discover so many cards in your auction. It's amazing. What is this thing? I've never seen it before.
Techniques was one of the subsets in the 2000 Skybox, and then they had kind of like the parallel to the basketball route to the basketball. They had also the Techniques was a separate than the Derek Jeter one we saw earlier out of 50 with the red kind of foil to distinguish it.
There's a serial number right there. Hold on, let me just go to the back of the card. Right there, 19 of 50, I think it says.
Yep, 19 of 50.
19 of 50. Wow. I bet this card is beautiful in hand, and I can't really speak to it. I don't think I've ever seen one before. We have another Essential Credentials now, Ron Mercer, numbered out of 80. We've got a Fleer Showcase Legacy Row 1, Bryant big, what do they call it? Big Country
Big Country.
Reed?
Big Country.
Big
Yeah.
Country. Numbered
That's
out of 100 from the old Vancouver Grizzlies. And a Antonio McDyess Z-Force Rave out of 399. The Big Country Reeves, the McDyess, and the Mark McGuire all need opening bids, guys. So get busy. Get busy. Let's get some more opening bids placed. All right. We have some unopened 90s junk wax here. 5 sets of Fleer 90 Fleer Update basketball. We got a 6-set lot of 91 Upper Deck final edition. What was the big, was it Manny Ramirez in here? What was the big card in this set? I remember there was somebody.
In final edition, Manny Ramirez.
It was Manny. Yeah. I remember when that came out. There were no packs of this. They only came out in these little boxes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You couldn't find packs.
That's right.
I remember.
And we got some Pro Set hockey along with Upper Deck, a 9-box hockey lot, including Pro Set and Upper Deck. Opening bid is $50 here, guys. The first bid has been placed, but this is like a fun rip just for nostalgic purposes. So don't be shy. Pedro Martinez says 99 cent cards CA. That was was it Pedro that was in the final edition? I think that, was Manny in there too, maybe, but thank you 99 cent for kind of refreshing my memory. It's so long ago, but I had my shop back in these days. So I was all over this product, but it's a long time ago now. And then we have another 6-box lot, early 90s baseball, all factory sealed, and a Michael Jordan 1999 Upper Deck Master Collection 23-card base set out of 500 with the wooden box.
Yep.
Tell us about this product.
So that Master Collection set had the 23-card base set. Then it also had a jersey card, an autograph, and then a mystery card. Could have been a jersey autograph or something else. And that came in this nice wooden box. And they made 500 of them, and the wooden box is also numbered as well.
Trying to get to the picture of the wooden box.
Box should not, if it's not up there, I'll put it up there tonight. But the box should be numbered to the card, to that set as well. So whatever that set is, it's the box as well. So the box will say 154.
Now, where's the numbering on are these cards? Oh, there. It's hard to see, but the number's right here. It's kind of blinded out by the light, but these are out of 500. So what Josh is saying, the box that these came out of is also numbered. So this comes with the box too. Yeah. Let's go, Jordan. Base set plus box. That's right. The auto is not included. Josh, are you still with us?
I'm still here. I don't know what happened.
Okay. Your camera went off, but your audio is still, he's back, guys. Josh is back. Welcome back, Josh. All right, man. Well, listen, I think we've made our way through. We're like 15 minutes overtime. So apologies for that, everybody. But Josh, I want to make sure that I kind of sped through the last quarter of this. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything that you might have wanted to show or profile anything at all. I see this Shaq card. I'm going to take a quick look at it, though.
Yeah.
One of these Legacy Collection Row 2s. Again, not my personal favorite design of a card, but I'm in the minority here. People love these. And look at the serial number on the back, 70 of 100. Come on. I'm a Shaq collector. I'm not going to bid on this card. I'm going to leave it for all you other Shaq collectors. But God, I know this is a prized possession for many. What do you think?
I love that parallel set, and I love that it's an older Beckett flip because the grades are on the back. So I think it's a really nice card. I think it's a strong grade. I think it's really sharp looking in person, especially. Now, you can't go wrong with Legacy Showcase Legacy.
No.
I love them.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish that I liked them more but I guess the fact that I don't leaves me funds to spend on other cards. So
right, exactly.
Win-win. And now I leave them for other people too. I'm not competing with them. 99 says also Jim Tomey and Ivan Rodriguez. I think it's the Ivan Rodriguez and the Pedro that I'm remembering the most. Thank you, 99 cent. That was quite the final edition update box there, wasn't it?
It was.
Josh, any other items here that you want to highlight before we wrap this up?
I think we covered it. I think it was very informative for our viewers, and hopefully we'll get some eyeballs on the auction and more importantly, bids for our consigners as we go into Sunday night.
Yeah, right on. Well, this was fun for me. Always is, Josh. Always great to hang out with you. I'm excited to see how my cards do as well as the rest of them. This auction, everybody, it ends 2 days from now. Sunday, June the 2nd, 8 p.m. Eastern is the end of the auction. Josh, is that when extended bidding begins?
Extended bidding starts at 8, and it goes, and then from 8 to 9, it's extended bidding, and then any lots that didn't get a bid at 9 will close. And then if whatever gets a bid, if it doesn't get a bid within 15 minutes of the entire auction. So like if one item gets a bid, the entire auction continues. So that's how we run our auction right now.
All right, guys. Well, there we have it. Thank you, Josh, for sitting with me and going through this. Lots of fun, great items. I got to say that the thing that sticks out to me the most, Josh, that I'm discovering cards I really feel like I've never seen before. You know, some of them are just less familiar, but some of them are completely brand new. That's really cool. That's what, I don't know. I think if nothing else, guys, bookmark 90sauctions.com on your browser, on your phone. Check out the auctions. They do 4 a year at this point. And if nothing else, you're going to learn about what's out there. This is a great way to learn about the 90s, which was the most interesting era in all of sports cards. Like the second half of the 90s, especially the most interesting, the most creative era in all of sports cards. Visit 90sauctions.com, register for the auction house, and bid whenever you're ready on any items you'd like. Thanks everyone who joined us on Instagram. Looks like we had, Josh, between you and me, looks like we had about 100, 150 people pop in and out on Instagram, Twitter, almost 50 people still watching right now. And to the 25 on YouTube, thank you all for being here. Josh, say goodbye to everybody, and then we'll wrap up. All right.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Josh, hang tight. Don't leave. Everybody else, thank you for joining. Appreciate you stopping in. I'll be live tomorrow night for Sports Cards Live. As usual, we'll see you then. And with that, this episode of 90s Auctions Live for May the 31st, 2024, on behalf of Joshua Adams of 90s Auctions, myself, Jeremy Lee of Sports Cards Live, have a great night.